The quality of American daytime soaps today is in the toilet. No, it's below the toilet. The quality is in hell. It's in the pits of hell. These soaps are broke, and I already made a video about that before, but they are broke, okay? They do not have money, all right? So the popularity of soap operas, daytime soap operas, has gone down over the years. And with that, the budget for these shows has also decreased, which is unfortunate. It hurts me as a fan who grew up with soap operas and grew up with them when they did have money and were able to do all these fantastic things, and to watch how cheaply made it is now, it just sucks. It hurts. And I also feel that the show owners could be doing more to promote soap operas and try to get the popularity up a little bit. It's never going to be what it used to be, but you can try to get the popularity up a little bit, right? The Young and the Restless tries a little bit. I think they do like internet, social media stuff like on Instagram and TikTok, which is good. I feel like they still could be doing more. I feel like there are ways to market soaps today to kind of get their popularity up a bit, you know, that they just don't do. They just don't do enough, in my opinion. And so the budget for these shows aren't there. They're not investing enough. So it's like they just don't care. It's like, oh, it makes enough money and we can make it as cheaply as possible now. And even though it looks bad, whatever, be grateful it's still on the air. Like, I hate y'all. We can't afford actors to be there full time anymore. They go from contract to part-timers. They barely have any sets. Everybody lives in hotel rooms instead of having a house. Like, it gets on my nerves, man. And the budget affects the writing. The writers can't write like these big grandiose storylines if you can't pay for it, right? We can't write to do all these things. We can't afford new actors. We can't afford new sets. We can't have them travel all over the place because we can't afford it. So how you gonna write the stuff? But even with how low the budget is, the writing is still way too bad on a lot of these soaps. Like, it is like, it's inexcusably bad. And we're really gonna talk about the bad writing that goes on in these soaps today, okay? Starting with The Young and the Restless. Like, I started my whole soap channel talking about how the writers of The Young and the Restless needed to be fired, and I stand by that. But mostly, I stand by the fact that the head writer, the current one, what's his name? Josh Griffin, he needs to go. Everybody on Twitter saying he needs to go, and I agree, because when he took over, this show got so freaking boring, and it has stayed consistently boring since he's been the head writer. It is so freaking bad, okay? A soap opera needs drama. It needs to be entertaining. Young and the Restless is doing none of the sort. Today, it is more shocking when Young and the Restless is actually good, okay? It is bad way more than it's good, and that is ridiculous. The Young and the Restless is the #1 daytime soap. How the hell are you the #1 daytime soap and you're the worst out of the 4? It is ridiculous. Let's talk about these stories they got going on right now on the YR. We got Ashley, who's potentially going insane, you know, with Tucker McCall, right? Like, they were married and then they got divorced because they had this big argument in Paris, right? And where Tucker lost his mind at that restaurant. He was throwing glasses and chairs and everything and making a scene and yelling at Ashley and blah, 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 blah. Or was he, right? Because apparently, like, Tucker saying, I never did that. I got mad, I yelled at you, but I ain't throwing the chairs, I ain't smashing no glasses. You imagine that whole thing. And Ashley has a history of mental health problems, right? So now she's questioning her own sanity. It's just this whole thing, and it's like, what's the point of this storyline? Where are we gonna go from this? Because this has been going on for like months at this point of, Tucker, you need to admit what you did, and Ashley, I didn't do a thing. It's been going on for months. Like, what are we gonna do here? What's the end game here? Is the end game, oh, I need to go to a mental facility? Or is the end game, Tucker, you are gaslighting her? What's the end game? What's gonna come from this? Is it just, oh, I'm gonna drop it and then we move on? This is boring. This is boring. It is a waste of everyone's time. I saw on Twitter, somebody said if this storyline doesn't end with Ashley like holding Tucker at gunpoint and shooting his ass, then what was the point? Because that's my problem with modern Young and the Restless. They do all these little baby drama storylines that nobody cares about, and then they don't have a satisfying ending. They just end. And that's what's probably going to happen with Ashley and Tucker. It's just going to end. Ashley's going to be like, you know what? It doesn't matter what, because we're not meant to be, and I'm just going to move on with my life. That's how it's going to end. It's going to be a waste of our time for months of this. And that's how it's going to end, boringly. Not a satisfying conclusion at all. You have this boring storyline with Connor going on right now. Like, Connor is apparently struggling in that school he's at, all off screen. We don't even see Connor. And we have Chelsea and Adam, his parents, trying to figure out what to do. And they were arguing with each other for 2 seconds, and then they got over it, and we got to come together and kumbaya. And this storyline is still going on. It's like, it's boring. It's boring. You couldn't even have them fight for longer than 2 seconds. This is boring. I don't care about Connor struggling in school. I'm sorry, especially when we don't see him. If we saw him, or if we saw him getting bullied or something, or we saw him struggling to learn stuff, we don't even see the boy. I don't care. Victoria and Cole trying to be good parents to Claire is boring. I don't even watch their scenes, to be honest. I have not sat and watched their scenes at all. I don't think I've seen one scene of Cole talking with anyone since they left that house when they were kidnapped. I don't watch them at all. It's just boring. You got Nikki falling off the wagon and being an alcoholic and stuff and drinking everything, which is like, when she fell off the wagon, I thought this was going to be interesting because every time Nikki is falling off the wagon, she has just acted so crazy. I thought this would be entertaining. It's not that entertaining. It has its entertaining moments, but honestly, this storyline isn't really doing that much for me either. And you have Jack being her sponsor, and it's like, oh, okay, you know how Victor feels about Jack. They hate each other, so ooh. But like, what's the point of this? What is the point of this? The only conclusion would be that Jack and Nikki are going to cheat with each other, right? Which I don't want. I don't need Victor and Nikki to ever break up again. There was a point in Young and the Restless where I was so frustrated that Nikki and Victor kept breaking up just to get back together. I'm like, y'all are too old for this. Y'all are too old for this. It gets to a point in time where a couple, like a pairing, they need to stop breaking up. You just need to stay together forever because we're tired of this. I'm tired of it. I'm not interested in Nikki cheating with Jack and then breaking up with Victor just for them to get back together in like 2 months. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. But at the same time, how else can you conclude the storyline? Is it just going to be, oh, Nikki gets help and then that's it? It's boring! You already have Diane getting somewhat jealous that her husband, Jack, is spending all this time helping Nikki. Okay, there's drama there, but I'm not really interested in Jack and Diane breaking up. But there's drama. But I suspect that it's just going to be Diane is going to be like, you know what? I'm tired of you hanging around Nikki all the time, your ex-wife that I hate. And Jack is gonna just say, you know what, baby, you know I love you, but I have to help Nikki. She's my friend. I hope you understand. And Diane is just gonna understand, and that's gonna be the conclusion. Because Young and the Restless is so fucking boring and it hates drama. God, and then we're dealing with the most boring cheating scandal of all time with Daniel. He's cheating on Lily with his ex-wife, and it is so boring. It is so boring. I've never seen a more boring cheating storyline. Are you kidding me? All this mess, like, Daniel, just tell Lily. Just tell her. Are you serious? I don't care how allegedly traumatized she is about whatever's going on with her daughter that we're seeing all off screen. I am so... And don't even get me started with what's going on with Cricket and Danny and Phyllis. Oh my God. Danny pissing me off. He pissing me off. He pissing me off. He pissing me off because he's treating Cricket like she's as much of a problem as Phyllis is. Phyllis is interfering with your potential relationship with Cricket, and you're acting like Cricket is a problem because Cricket is upset by it. Of course she is. She hates Phyllis, and she has every reason to hate Phyllis. Okay, but both those women hate each other. But Cricket has every reason to be upset that Phyllis is throwing herself at you, and you seem to be letting her. But you acting like Cricket has a problem. Like, Cricket, how could you get upset about Phyllis doing things that upset you? I just can't deal with it. I have to excuse myself. Like, I hate this man now. And Cricket's still begging for him. Cricket, leave him. You're too old for this. Leave him. If he's gonna act like this, if he can't just tell Phyllis, stay out of my life, we ain't doing it no more, we can't have no friendship. Our son, who's not really my son, but our son is grown, so I don't really have to deal with you at all. So, like, if you can't just kick Phyllis out of your life and focus on Cricket, then Cricket don't need to have anything to do with you, to be honest. Like, I hated this. Him really trying to put the blame on Cricket for all the stress in his life. Like it ain't Phyllis, it's both of them. Are you serious? Oh, that pissed me off. But men, you know, they can act like that. But the problem, the bad writing comes from Cricket because you still having Cricket be desperate for Danny's attention when he's acting like an asshole. Cricket don't need him. Recast Paul and get her husband back. Like, this is ridiculous. Let's move on to The Bold and the Beautiful, the second most boring soap out here. Although Young and the Restless and Bold and Beautiful, they be fighting for that title. They fight for the most boring soap title all the time, okay? But right now, Young and the Restless is winning. But go to Bold, all right? It's still boring too. Bold has been boring for weeks, honestly. Like, every episode is Thomas begging this girl that can't even say she loves him to marry him. It is... And then we had that whole storyline with Eric being sick. Like, oh my God, we still don't know what he was sick with. I don't think the writers ever told us. He was just sick, and then he was dying from this imaginary illness that we know nothing about. I guess it was cancer, but they didn't even tell us what kind of cancer. We don't know what was wrong with Eric, but he was dying, and then he had some experimental surgery, and that saved him, and that whole storyline was handled so poorly. Eric has like, what, 7 kids? Right? He had 4 kids with Stephanie, and I'm including Ridge in that. He had 4 kids with Stephanie, and then he had 2 with Brooke, right? And then he had 1 that he adopted. He adopted Donna's son. He has 7 kids, and only 3 of them bothered to be here. Ridge lives in Los Angeles. They had Bridget come, they had Thorne come, and then the other siblings didn't come from some bullshit excuse, right? Fine, they were stuck somewhere, I don't know, right? But the man was in the hospital, he went through surgery, he went through weeks of recovery from surgery, he's now back home, and throughout all this time, none of his other children came to see him. 2 of them actually just disappeared. During the recovery. It was ridiculous. Where the hell did Bridget and Thorne go? Where did they go? They just disappeared. Oh my God. And you know why they wasn't there? It's because the show is broke. They don't have money to hire these actors to come back. It's asinine that you would do a storyline where you were going to potentially kill off Eric, one of the original characters on the show, and none of his other children, all his children weren't going to be here. It boggles my mind. And again, didn't even name the disease he had. What is he sick with? We don't know. I hate Bold and Beautiful so much. Oh, and I forgot. Apparently they fired the actor that plays Taylor now. The second actor that plays Taylor. Apparently they fired her. Like, what? What is wrong with y'all? What's going on? What's really going on? I don't understand it. It's just that, oh, well, if we don't have that crazy love triangle with Ridge, Brooke, and Taylor, we just don't know what to do with that woman. Apparently there was rumors that the actor doesn't like the actor that plays Brooke. I don't know, but firing her is ridiculous. Or not recasting her is ridiculous. It's all ridiculous. Man, upsetting. Now let's go to Days of Our Lives. Now I have kind of fallen off on Days a little bit, and it's not really because of the show, it's more just my personal life. But for the most part, I'm trying to get back into it, and usually I'm entertained by Days. You know, usually Days of Our Lives entertains me. That doesn't mean there isn't bad writing going on every now and then, but I am entertained by Days of Our Lives, which is more than I can say for Bold or Young and the Restless 9 out of 10 times, okay? Days entertains me. My mom consistently watches Days of Our Lives, and we both started late. Like, I started watching in 2020. I think she started watching late 2020 or 2021. So we're not exactly like old school fans of Days. Like, we're recent fans compared to the many years we were watching Bold and the Young and the Restless, right? We're recent fans of Days. My mom watches Days consistently. She was saying lately that Days is kind of boring. I guess that makes sense because these are the episodes that were written during the writer's strike, right? I believe that these episodes currently are the ones that were written during the writer's strike. So it kind of makes sense that my mom is not really gelling with them like she was in the past. But whatever. We were watching lately. It seems to be entertaining enough, you know what I mean? But like, I've heard about all the behind the scenes stuff that's going on with Days of Our Lives. Like, there's allegations of assault. I'm being careful with my words because, you know, YouTube and demonetization if you say certain words. But like, there's some serious allegations of assault that's been happening behind the scenes in Days, and a lot of female actors have been let go because of it, apparently. And I know the actor that plays Nicole, I think Zucker, I don't know her name, I apologize, but the actor that plays Nicole on Days, he did a whole freaking press conference talking about it, and it's like, this is some serious stuff. So you have all these actors coming to, I guess, HR, coming to like the head man, you know, Corday, right? Telling him that, hey, one of your executive producers is doing all this shady stuff, right? Y'all need to do something about it. And nothing was done. Nothing was done until it was exposed in the media. Like, are you serious? This is bad. This is really bad because this isn't like just, oh, the show is written poorly or the show is poor and can't do much. This is real life. This is behind the scenes stuff. You're treating actors this way and causing them to be fired. Like, you know, we as the fans watch the show because of these actors, and more of them are leaving. Fan favorite ones, that's not a good thing. When I saw some posts on Twitter, like, some people are worried that Days might get canceled because of all this negative drama that's going on. It might, you never know, right? And especially worried about Peacock. I mean, I don't know how true this is, but people were saying that Peacock is not a very profitable streaming service, and I don't know that to be true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like, who the hell has Peacock? Like, I have it because I like to watch Days of Our Lives. How many people in the world have Peacock to watch Days of Our Lives? Like, you know, hey, you know, Peacock refuses to put Passions on there and they expect people to buy it. Like, what? And finally, I get to General Hospital. I don't really watch General Hospital. I only really watch clips sometimes. Y'all think I should watch General Hospital? But yeah, I've seen what the fans of General Hospital have to say on Twitter, and they seem to be not pleased too. I don't think any fan of any soap is really happy right now. But yeah, a lot of the General Hospital fans seem to be fed up, baby. I mean, from what I've seen is they're upset about Carly. I know who Carly is. They're upset that her character seems to be the queen of General Hospital, and all the other characters must bow down to her, and Sunny as well, right? It reminds me a lot of Brooke on The Bold and the Beautiful. You know, where Brooke and the Logans kind of just dominate that freaking show, and everybody must bow to them, and they must always be right, and they must always get everything they want. So apparently that's what happens with Carly on General Hospital, I guess. She always gets whatever she wants. Everyone must kiss her ass. So a lot of fans who aren't Carly fans are upset about that, right? And upset about Sunny, I guess, too, as well, always getting the spotlight. So, yeah. And I think I've heard the same complaints that I have for the soaps that I do watch, right? It's boring. They don't have a budget. They don't do enough. These stories drag on forever. Blah, 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 right? So, yeah, all four of the daytime American soap operas seem to be... the quality seems to be in hell, and they don't seem to be trying to fix it at all. They don't seem to try to up the budget. They don't want to get new writers. They don't want to do anything. It's just gonna stay the same until they decide to cancel it one day, I guess. Which sucks. A lot of these shows have been on forever. General Hospital is the oldest American daytime soap opera. It was on for 60 years. And you're not gonna do more with it? Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, what is it? Do y'all just not know how to write drama anymore? Or are you really scared of being canceled? Is it that? Because you're like, oh, you know, all those dramatic storylines that they could get away with back in the day, some of them they can't get away with today. And because of that, they're just scared to write anything? Is that what it is? Because I don't understand how these soap operas don't know how to be a soap opera. You don't know how to write drama. You don't know how to shock us anymore. Like, I don't understand. Days is doing its best. I think Days, in my opinion, is doing the best out of all of them, right? I don't watch General Hospital, so I'm not even gonna throw General Hospital because I don't watch it enough to know what General Hospital is doing when it comes to drama. But I watched the other three, and I know that Days is outdoing them constantly. And Days probably has the smallest budget, but it doesn't let it stop it from doing things that it wants to do, right? So, like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. I'm gonna continue to hope that someday really soon the quality in all these soap operas will improve, but I'm not gonna hold my breath, okay? But when it comes to Young and the Restless, y'all need a new head writer. You need a new head writer. I'm sick of this. It's been years. It's been years of this show being boring as hell. And only remaining the #1 rated soap opera because it has a good time slot and people are just used to watching it, right? But it is so boring. It is so boring. We need a new head writer. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Oh my gosh. All right, I just needed to vent. I needed to rant, okay? Because I love soap operas. I started a YouTube channel to talk about soap operas, and yet the shows are so damn boring, I barely want to talk about them. I really hope things will improve. A man can dream, right? So if you're watching this video, what do you think about soap operas today? Are you still enjoying them, or do you think they need to get their shit together? Let me know in the comment if you'd be so kind. All right, later guys. Be blessed. And subscribe and like if you like the video. All right, bye.